Hello everybody, I'm Charlie Tolhurst and welcome to the latest episode on my YouTube channel Chaz's Squash. It's been a while since I've uploaded a new video, so I'm going to upload another one today and talk to you guys about some of the news that's happening in Downing Street regarding the new Prime Minister Liz Truss. Now, this week Britain had a new Prime Minister. Boris Johnson handed the reins over to Liz Truss. Liz Truss is now the new Prime Minister of the UK. Funnily enough, Liz Truss has new records because she is actually going to be a quite significant Prime Minister for the United Kingdom. And we know for sure she will be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So Britain's new Prime Minister Liz Truss will be the star attraction for the government. Now, she's also announced a new cabinet as well, with plenty of new additions to her cabinet. And we've got several MPs that I want to go over right now for you that are in the cabinet. Liz Truss will be the Prime Minister. Therese Coffey will be the Deputy Prime Minister and the Secretary of State for Health and Social Care. Kwasi Kwarteng is the Chancellor of the Exchequer. James Cleverly gets promoted to Foreign Secretary. Suella Braverman will be Home Secretary. Can she sort the migrant crisis out in the Channel with huge numbers of Albanian drug gangs coming over and causing potential boats to be turned away from France? Ben Wallace remains as Defence Secretary, overseeing the war in Ukraine, the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Brandon Lewis becomes Justice Secretary and Lord Chancellor. Nadhim Zahawi goes from Chancellor to Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, which is also, I believe, part of the Home Office as well. It's actually Cabinet Office Minister, by the way, that role, I think. Minister for Intergovernmental Relations and Minister for Equalities as well. Also becomes Equalities Minister. Penny Mordaunt becomes Leader of the House of Commons and also Lord President of the Council as well. Alok Sharma remains COP26 Summit. Kemi Badenoch becomes International Trade Secretary. Kit Mulhouse becomes the Education Secretary, and so on and so forth. So, yes, plenty of announcements there to be made in Liz Truss's cabinet. We saw that Prime Minister's questions, Liz Truss sparring with Keir Starmer for the first time. I have to say, Truss seemed quite unsettled yesterday during her maiden address. She felt very nervous at times. It didn't seem very inspiring from what I heard. Obviously, it's early days yet, so I can't really assess Truss at the moment based on how she's going to perform. But there is a lot of issues right now facing the United Kingdom. There is a huge number of people that are involved in law and order, being so many stabbings that have been basically happening over the last few weeks. Thomas O'Halloran, an 87-year-old man being stabbed by someone using a knife in a mobility scooter in London, going about his daily business. We also saw as well another killing of Olivia Pratt-Corbell the other week in Liverpool, a 9-year-old being shot by a gunman. Someone entered their house. And also we had the horrifying events last week at the Notting Hill Carnival, where several arrests were made and about 6 people ended up being killed after stabbings took place. So, law and order is a big issue. Cost of living as well. Energy bills are going to be a big factor. Will the government freeze energy bills? And will it be interesting to see if they're going to put a windfall tax on energy companies? Is that going to be what Liz Truss said today? She wouldn't do that. Keir Starmer has been pushing for that. Liz Truss saying no. So it'll be very interesting to see how that debate comes out regarding all of them issues. Because there's so many issues at the moment that you see the government facing. And we need to work out exactly what's going to happen. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. And also, as I said, immigration. Can Suella Braverman get Britain out of the ECHR, the European Court for Human Rights, to try and solve these issues with the Channel? Especially as well, giving Britain our own border controls, taking back control of our borders. That was the key Brexit message that the Conservative Party wanted to deliver on their manifesto in 2019. Can they try and deliver it now? Because obviously we need to see the government finally getting in on that. Now, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, there were some new cabinet appointments. Very interested to see how Therese Coffey gets on as the Secretary of State for Health and Social Care, because at the moment, guys, if you're going to a hospital or waiting for an ambulance, it is chock-a-block. We're seeing winter pressures. Literally was in the middle of summer. We're now coming into autumn, and we're seeing huge pressures with our health service. So the government must try and reduce ambulance waiting times. That's another thing that they've got to reduce. Also, as well, in the health and social care, the NHS backlog needs to be tackled as well. We're still seeing people missing cancer appointments. We need GP appointments to be more easier for everyone to access. And also, one other thing that has got to be dealt with, and the Chancellor of the Exchequer must do, is reducing taxes, especially on energy companies. VAT needs to be reduced. And also, as well, I really want the government to save hospitality businesses this winter from potential collapse, because we don't want to see blackouts across our streets because we run out of energy. We also want to see that hospitality businesses are given enough support to see them through the winter, because if these rising food prices do come up, they could hit them hard, especially supermarkets as well. Given where I'm working at M&S right now, we need to see, in my view, a reduction in prices of food as well. So huge task facing the government, and also the pound as well is going down. There's issues with the pound as well that the government have got to tackle. There's so many issues. Inflation is probably the biggest issue at the moment. So I hope Liz Truss can do this as well, and I hope the cabinet do have faith in her, and I do hope the country has faith in her, because will there be another general election? I just don't think Liz Truss has got much character at the moment. She needs to come out delivering on day one, delivering her promises. Because if she doesn't, the Conservatives are heading for a 1997 style defeat at the next election when John Major lost to Tony Blair. That will be what happens if that was to come true. And I do not want the Conservative Party to get slipped behind into the unknown. So that's the end of this video, guys. If you have any questions, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon at the top. I'll alert you when new videos are uploaded. Stay tuned, guys, for my next video, which will be on the F1, current F1 races, regarding the review of the Belgian Grand Prix, and also having a look what's happened at the Dutch Grand Prix. Take care.